Hello, Outrageous Artists, and welcome to the Outrageous Art Studio. I, of course, am the Outrageous Art teacher, and I am so excited to share this lesson with you today because if you have ever been frustrated or just really wanted to learn how to become better at drawing, then this lesson is definitely for you. Now, it is not your fault. I've actually found an awesome book and found some really cool information that I want to share with you that will show you that it's actually your brain that's been tricking you into keeping you from being the best at drawing that you could possibly be. So this lesson is actually 3 parts. So there are 3 assignments that we're going to be completing, and they all come from this amazing book, Drawing on the Right Side of Your Brain. So we're going to learn a little bit of science. We're going to combine some science with some art in this lesson, and I think you're really going to love it. Our subject for this lesson is going to be something that has inspired artists since the beginning of time. And that subject is your hand. That's right, everybody has a hand. So follow along, and I'm going to give you a hand with how to become better at drawing. Like I said, hands have been an inspiration for art for thousands of years. Even the cavemen used their hands as a subject for their artwork. This is a picture of a cave painting in Santa Cruz, Patagonia in Argentina. These stenciled hands have been painted over each other for thousands of years. The paintings with the palest pigments date back to 11,000 years ago, while the brighter ones date up to 7,000 years ago. Now, I'm sure you've seen this iconic image of hands. This is from The Creation of Adam, which is a fresco painting by the famous Italian artist Michelangelo. This forms part of the Sistine Chapel's ceiling. This is an image of the near-touching hands of God and Adam, and it has been reproduced countless times and made into even parodies. People wonder why the fingers are not quite touching, and it signifies the gap that exists between God and humans. Here are 3 more of my favorite artists and their depiction of hands. We have Albrecht Dürer, who did the praying hands in 1508. We have the awesome M.C. Escher, who drew this really cool optical illusion of hands popping out of the paper in 1948. And then, of course, Andy Warhol had his wonderful handprints painted in 1982. I don't know about you, but I am super excited to come up with a really creative way to draw my hands. But before we actually start drawing, we want to understand and learn about how we can use the right side of your brain to help you become even better at drawing what you see. So these exercises come from this awesome book, Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain by Betty Edwards. There's also a really cool workbook that comes with it that I highly recommend. We are going to be creating 3 drawings of your hands using the 5 skills needed for drawing. The 5 perceptual skills that you need to develop for drawing are number 1, edges. So understanding the edge or the line or contour around and inside of an object is very important, and we're going to learn that first. We also need to understand spaces, so being able to identify and find the negative space around an object. We need to know relationships or proportion of objects. And then we want to be able to see lights and shadows. This is also considered shading. And then finally, understanding the whole gestalt, which means whole, so the unity of the composition as a whole. Now, you might be wondering, what does my brain have to do with drawing? Well, scientists have discovered that there are 2 hemispheres of your brain, and they specialize in 2 different types of functioning. Your left brain is more used for analytical thinking, logic, language, and also science and math. Your right brain is more about design and creativity. So you use holistic thinking, intuition, creativity, and it's used for art and music. Now, some people are more dominant on one side as opposed to the other, but no matter what side of your brain you are more used to using, these exercises are going to help you develop your right side of your brain whenever you are drawing. When you were little, the left side of your brain needed to organize the world around you, so it would come up with symbols for everything. These are called schemas, and schemas are helpful for identifying things, but not necessarily as they really look. Over the years, your schemas have gotten more complex, but they still don't represent exactly what you see. When you're drawing, your brain struggles to draw the symbol that the left brain has come up with, while your right brain is actually trying to draw what it sees. This is why people get really frustrated with drawing and end up thinking that they don't know how to draw at all. Alright, so how can we shut down that left side of your brain and open up the right side so that you can actually start drawing? There's a couple different ways, but the first way that we're going to learn is called blind contour drawing. So this will help enhance your drawing skills and allow you to draw what your brain really sees, not the symbol of it. I've broken this lesson up into 3 separate parts, and I'll be making each into a separate video. The first one, we're going to do a blind contour sketch of your hand. Your second assignment is going to be to make a foreshortened sketch of your hand. And then finally, we're going to do an awesome final drawing of your hand holding an object, or you can get totally creative with it. Okay, let's start our first sketch. This is going to be your blind contour drawing, and there is absolutely no cheating. If you've done this before, that's great. In fact, it is good to try blind contour drawing before you start any of your drawing. It's a really good exercise that will help you get your right side of your brain ready to draw. So, all you need is 5 minutes. You need a piece of paper or a sketchbook, and I like to use a Sharpie for this one. Once you have your supplies ready, you're going to take a seat at a table, and with your drawing hand holding your Sharpie or marker, you want to place it in the middle of your paper. Once you have your marker ready, I want you to turn your seat so that you're facing away from your paper. This is very important. And like I said, I will be able to tell if you cheat on this part. You are going to start by looking at the wrinkle in the middle of your hand. So, once you have your seat ready, you're going to begin to slowly draw that wrinkle from edge to edge. Do not lift up your marker from your paper. Do not try to look at your paper. You are going to keep slowly drawing every part of your hand from that wrinkle to the finger, to the edge of the finger, and every part that you see with your eye. So allow your eye to draw all along the parts of your hand, one part at a time. Remember, you're going to keep drawing until the 5-minute timer rings. Once it rings, then you need to stop, put your marker down, take a look at your amazing drawing, and make sure you sign and date it. When you finally get to look at your paper, yes, it's probably going to look ridiculous, but that's okay. The point of this exercise is to not make a realistic or great looking hand. It is to get your right side of your brain ready to draw what you really see, not what you think you see. Our next step is to make our foreshortened shaded hand drawing. For that, we're going to be using pencil and eraser. You're going to need a clear plastic viewfinder, which could also be one of those page protectors. We need a dry erase marker, colored or white paper, and then graphite stick, soft pencil, or charcoal. So stay tuned for that part 2 video. If you liked this, be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I hope you guys have an art-rageous day. Bye.